It's kind of like the last garden update of the season that I, decided to do here. And it's been a great year for the garden. I still can't believe that we haven't had a frost yet. Here it is October and we're still getting 80-degree weather, which is a really strange year. But anyhow, we've been, really had a good garden season this year. The only problem were the tomatoes, which we lost to blight, but we've just been enjoying everything else all summer. The grill's been, cooking up everything, and you can see some of that little strawberry popcorn is a couple weeks ago is starting to grow, get pretty big. The all the cilantro is now starting to go to seed there, and it's getting quite large. Those crazy birdhouse gourds that I planted, I put 6 seeds in, and I will never ever plant them in an enclosed area again. This was a couple weeks ago when they were growing wild. They just sort of, the runners on the vines got to be about 50 feet long, but they just kept branching out every 2-3 feet into more vines. So you see the gourds starting to grow there, but they just went crazy and took over the whole area of the pretty much raised beds. And there's some of the the kale that we've been using, and you can kind of see there how those birdhouse gourds have actually taken over my bench in my shade area that I can no longer enjoy. But luckily the sun's getting lower in the sky now. So here's some okra. This was a couple weeks ago. They were about 6 feet tall, and they've been really doing good. We just can't keep up, with them eating them. And my wife found a good gumbo recipe, and we've been enjoying that. And the peppers have been unbelievable this year. Those new raised beds, these red peppers, we can pick a 5-gallon bucket of them every couple of days. There's just like no way to use all the peppers that we have this year. We've got the freezers full, and we've still got tons of them left. Eggplants didn't do so good. Out of all my eggplant plants, I just got 2 of these purple ones. They're, pretty nice size, but they were lucky to have made it before the bugs ate all the flowers off them and stuff. So we did, with all the rain and everything, we did have a problem with bugs. And then a couple of weeks ago, I decided to start the fall crops. I have this one raised bed up by my house that I, put the lettuce and stuff in. And I put in some spinach and bok choy and pak choy and radishes and 6 different types of lettuce, I think, just to have some fall cool weather crops. So, it took an afternoon and I got them all planted in there and ready to go. And in the meantime, it's been like, every day it's been a trip from the garden with a cart full of veggies here. There you can see those Long Island cheese pumpkins did really good. And I've never eaten so many melons in my life. And it's like just kind of one cart after the next. It seems like every day I bring the cart down empty and fill it up and bring it back up. So, it's starting to get to the point where we're getting all stocked up for the winter now. The Long Island cheese pumpkins were just amazing. And the only problem with these small pumpkins, they were supposed to be Big Mac seeds that I planted. And that just didn't happen. And getting into some of the bigger carrots now, we've been using them and thinning them all season. And, the bigger ones are left. And starting to save some seeds for the beans and the edamames there for next season. So I got them drying. And it's like every day another basket of beans or another cart full of butternuts or pumpkins or whatnot. Been a really good season for them. My wife's been roasting up a lot of the Long Island cheese pumpkins and putting them in the freezer. And in the meantime, probably those couple of cantaloupe seeds that I planted, I think we had about 3 dozen of these melons this summer, and they were just really amazing, really nice, really great flavor. They weren't sugar sweet, but they were just nice for a melon. We really enjoyed them, and this is the first year I've ever had melons, so I was surprised how good that they did. So I've had enough melons for the year now. We've been doing the kale chips in the oven. They're real good too, and it's like every 2 days another 5-gallon bucket of beans. It's I don't want to see another bean till next summer now. And here's some of the parsley that I had planted 2 years ago that I let go to seed. I just let that go up and go to seed. So that's, growing pretty good. And these tomatillos, this was a couple weeks ago. They were doing really good. And lately they've been turning purple and dropping off, and we've been making some of the salsa verde with them, and that's really excellent. So you can see they start getting purple as they get a little bit older. And then those parsley seeds, this is like a couple weeks after that last video. You can see I'm just saving them for seeds for the next couple of years. I just cut off the little seed heads once they grow and put them in a bowl, let them dry good, and then I'll just take and shake them off and put them in some plastic bags and mark them. And there's 4 tomatillo plants that I put in, and probably given us I'd say probably close to 15 pounds of them already, and there's still a ton more, ripening on the plants. So they did real good, and I've been enjoying them. And, here's a couple weeks after planting that greens box up above there, and I'm out picking some of the baby tiny bok choy there. It's done real good, and it's been enjoyable. And back down to the garden. Well, I took the tomatoes out, but I did plant some pole beans wherever the tomatoes were missing, wherever they died when I first put them in, and those beans are just coming in like crazy again. And a couple flowers there, and then those rows and weeds are actually lima beans. Don't have enough time this year because they went in too late, so there won't be many of them. But and these were supposed to be Big Mac pumpkin seeds that I planted, but God knows what they are. They look like a small pie pumpkin almost. And it had more pole beans growing over the fence from the inside. Just so many beans this year. I've never seen so many. And there's the and I had a dead raccoon outside my garden that surprised me one morning. I don't know what killed it. A young raccoon, real healthy looking, but it was just dead. The night before, or 2 nights before, all of my grapes had disappeared, and I'm wondering if the thing might have eaten itself to death on grapes, because there probably were about 50 pounds of grapes that disappeared, and he's been wandering around my garden stealing things, so I'm thinking the grapes might have got him, but I don't know. I did bury him in the backyard. And then there you can see the okra is probably up to about 7 feet tall now, and got a bunch of weeds starting to come in. And the melons there, you can see they're all gone now. And those birdhouse gourds just kept on growing. You can see they've got the bench covered now, and just about everything in the raised bed area covered. So they were a big mistake to try to plant in an enclosed area, but I didn't know that 60 seeds could grow that many vines. You still got peppers coming in. I mean, they're not going to stop until we get frost. I'm hoping for a frost soon. And the freezer's full, like I said, and we really can't use any more. We're tired of eating them, so. And the beans, it's another thing we're so full of. We just have so many beans, and there's some of the fall kale that's starting to come in now, and that should be good after the first frost gives it some flavor. And strawberry popcorn's ready to pick now. Starting to dry out a little bit and stuff, so I'm gonna pick that now, and then once it dries and I can pop some, I'll do a little video about that. There's what it looks like when you pick it. So you can see pretty much the garden's getting near the end of the year, and put the birdhouse gourds out on a pallet. I picked some of them, put them out in the sun to dry, and so pretty much this is just a quick update about the garden, and pretty much we had a really good year with everything but the tomatoes, which we lost to blight. I did get to save a couple of tomatoes. A couple of them did ripen, and I did get a couple tomato sandwiches out of it, so that's all that counts. And everything else has just been overabundance from all the rain. I've never seen so many veggies grow on the vines and stuff. So, I don't have many complaints this year. And I did, I think I did pick some really good varieties to plant this year also. These Long Island cheese pumpkins are just amazing. They're just so creamy when my wife, gets them all ready for the freezer. And it's just been a really good year. And this was my first year for trying these delicatas here, and they are really good if you take and just slice them up like that, and you roast them up in the oven. And that was a Long Island cheesecake. We've just been using the smaller carrots, thinning them out. Now we're getting to the point of the larger ones. And I did make a couple batches of that juice salad that I made the video of about a year ago. And, that was really excellent this summer with all the fresh veggies. And, pretty much we did have an overabundance of the zucchinis too. And a lot of rainbows with all the rain that we've had. As far as pickles go, I think I did 4 crocks of pickles, and I'm totally full of pickles for the year, and we did put some up too. And basil's getting dehydrated now, and getting put away for the winter. And the freezer is full of all different kinds of pumpkin breads that my wife has made up, or zucchini breads and pumpkin breads. And like I said, we just got beans, and more beans, and we're pretty much sick and tired of them now too. The beets are 2 of them fit in one big pot, so that's about how big the beets are, and they're all that big. And starting to get the root cellar filled up now. Got the butternuts and the Long Island cheese pumpkins in there, and we got the canning rack starting to fill up, and basically we're just getting ready for a hopefully a nice long snowy winter to get some time to relax. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.